All right, here we go. I'm gonna wait for a few more folks to show up. We're gonna go to the first spot and get to fishing because we're on a time crunch. Yeah, buddy. Good to go, Nick. I just shot 2 videos for YouTube. Now I'm gonna go live for a couple hours, or just shy a couple hours, and I'm gotta go get cleaned up. I gotta go to a company Christmas dinner tonight. Yeah, buddy. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and make a move. All right, here we go. What happened to this freaking banana here? It dried like that in the boat. Stupid. Deformed. Yeah, buddy. All right, let's see what we could do and what we can't do. All right, earlier I hooked a trout, a pretty large trout on the jerkbait, and then it popped free. I'm gonna go over here and see if we can't hook a trout or a bass. whatever swims, whatever wants to put a bend in my rod. Still a little bit of that spaghetti grass. Pretty clear water here. I went to go jerk it and that trout bit, and I never even felt the trout bite. I just felt the trout there when I went to go jerk the bait. Thank you to all those that are tapping in on a Saturday. Can't guarantee I'm even going to catch a fish. I'm going to try my ass off. It ain't going to be for a lack of trying. Comes some waves from some asshead that was smashing around the lake. Don't know who that is. All right, where's that trout at? I know that trout's got a brain size of a pea. I can totally see my jerkbait. You probably see down about 7 foot of clarity on this lake right now. Sitting in 14 feet of water. It's 2:48 p.m. Sun's already looking like it's going down. I throw this around some docks. Thought I saw something chasing it about the size of my jerkbait. All right, we're gonna move on. I got just the normal run-of-the-mill type of baits on. I normally have on the last 2-3 weeks. Jerkbait, crankbaits, swim baits, umbrella rigs, big swim baits, jigs, glide baits. Yeah, let me start the motor without putting the trolling motor up. That should be interesting, to say the least. Claudia, what's up? Hello, Claudia. Claudia, my lover. It's still fun chasing birds with the boat. Okay. I'm gonna pick up a jig, 1/2 ounce. Got a zoom super chunk on it with the tips dipped in that orange dye. And we're gonna see what happens. And that shit was short. It's about 13 feet of water at the tip of that dock up there. The main lake point has a dock. I've had a probably 7-8 pounder come out and check out my try to bite my mag draft about probably a month, maybe a month and a half ago. I'll put you guys and gals on my chesty here in a second. That's some grass right there. That dock smells horrible. It's covered in poop. Yes, I said poop. That shit stinks. Freaking birds. All right, we're gonna throw a jerkbait with a suspend dot KVD 300. It's a Strike King KVD 300 clear IU. I got it on 8-pound mono on a 6'9" fairy one with 8-pound mono on. It's what I prefer in the winter to throw a jerkbait. Helps me slow down, helps me present it a lot slower, a lot better, more efficient. What the fuck? What was that? Water temp right now is 48.55, 48.55. You do have to retie when you're fishing a half-ounce jerkbait on 8-pound mono after casting so much. You do have to retie, and you have to flip the bail open too. Helps. You will snap it off if you don't. uh, Make sure you hold your mouth right as well. Fouled up. We'll change it up here shortly. Appreciate everyone tapping in on a Saturday afternoon. Currently fishing a jerkbait. The Strike King KVD 300. I'm sitting in 15 feet of water on a main lake point. I'll put you guys up on the chesty. You see what I see. Not like it's any different, but I think I do have a Senko on boat. Uh-huh. All right, I do have a blade bait tied on. I should have actually tied on the Temu one, so if I lose the shit, I don't really care about it. But I feel like the Temu one will work in a pinch. So let me show you this particular one I have. This isn't my total favorite one. My favorite is the Head-In sonar. Head-In, however you say it. This is a Johnson. Yeah, it's a thin fisher, I think is the name of this. A Johnson thin fisher. It's just basically a piece of metal. I have it on a 6-pound monofilament. Yeah, Johnson, or maybe a Berkeley thin fisher. I don't know. It's called the thin fisher. How about that? I got on 6-pound mono. You cast it a mile. It sinks like a freaking rock. Just follow it down. The best way to do it is hop it up off the bottom. Let it sink all the way down. Sitting in 10 feet of water. You feel that thing, you feel it vibrate. You can cover a large amount of water with a blade bait. Catch fish on them in all 49, lower 48 states. Six-pound line may be a little bit light for some, but if you got a bunch of open water with less snags, you'll get more bites with the lighter line you fish with. You'd be surprised how many more fish you'll catch with I got grass on it. How many more fish you'd catch with putting your jerkbait on 6-pound line. There's different blade bait companies, call them different stuff. It's basically just a piece of metal with a weight on there and some hooks. It's not a real fancy lure. It's been around for over 100 years probably. Some of the folks down south make the blade bait fishing look way too easy. You see that thing just sounds just like that too. You know, if you're live scoping and you see some fish down on the sonar, you could easily drop this bait down to them in quick, fast fashion. I had a buddy of mine, I taught how to fish this bait out in 52 feet of water, and he catches a kokanee, which is a landlocked salmon, in the mouth. That's pretty cool. Caught 2 of them. I got skunked. Usually a drop and lift up, like a drop and flutter, is probably one of the better techniques. But you can even put this on bait cast gear and chuck and wind it, just like a crankbait. There's 3 different line ties on it for the clip, for you to put the clip. The one closest to us is for deep water. The middle one is for like casting. And the very back one is for up shallow, I think. I may have that backwards as well too. If you got like deep flats in the wintertime to cover, oh, this is a perfect bait. You can catch yellow perch with it. You can catch crappie, bass, catfish, hybrids, all types of shit. Trout, stickfish. Man, ever so elusive stickfish. We got high pressure blue skies today. My intuition is telling me that the fish are not going to be chasing baits all that much right now. Like it's trying to cloud up. It's supposed to be cloudy for tomorrow. My opinion, tomorrow will be the better fishing day. All right, we're gonna make a move here. There's so many different ways to fish this bait, but this is one of my preferred ways to fish it. Making it come up about 3 foot and let it fall back down. Once again, this is the Thin Fisher. All right, we're gonna make a move. It's the 12th of December. I've really only slayed fish in December at one particular lake, and we're nowhere near that lake right now. Uh-huh. Looks like a video game. Yes, sir. Still crazy because the still having 50-degree days. I just had a live scoper buddy of mine catch a 5-pound largemouth today in 2 feet of water. Okay, turn that trolling motor on high. Turn it on high, and I think we're gonna throw the blade bait out here. Blade bait and the A-rig, I think, are gonna be the 2 players. Maybe a jerk bait. Let's get this net out of my way. All right. Again, we're in 18 feet of water. There's a fish on the sonar, 10 foot down. Once again, this is a 1/2 ounce blade bait. Helps you keep bottom contact. Plus, you could fish it in like 60 feet of water if you wanted to. I just end up putting it on probably 8-pound mono is probably my go-to for this time of the year, all through much of the winter. These are very effective baits this time and all through the much of the winter, especially when you find a school of fish. What led me over here to this bank is that I seen a bunch of cormorants, which there's a cormorant sitting on that buoy, second one. That is a bird that eats the same bait bass do. And there was a bunch of birds along this bank over here, and I got to scare them all out. Don't know if they're actively eating or feeding. We're going to see what happens. This lake is only 238 acres. It's in Kitsap County, literally down the road from my house. Get some pressure, but there are some big fish in this lake. I've caught some very nice quality fish from this lake. The biggest I caught at this lake is 5-pound 12 ounce. Which isn't any when my PB is 10.6. But still beautiful fish, 512. I got to catch it in front of a grandpa, a dad, and a kid, all sitting on lawn chairs over here. Very cool. Right in the summertime. 3 generations of men got to see me catch that fish. All I hear behind me is like, don't lose it. That's a big bird right there. It just hopped off of there. I see a few fish on the fish finder, and I see them all from the bottom, middle, and all the way to the surface. The bottom look like they have the bigger fish. Definitely a bigger trout. More than likely. It looked like a fairly clean bottom. I'm gonna let that bitch sink all the way to the bottom. We're right on the break line. Get that up, let it sink back down. Telling you, this is a good way to cover water. Just gotta be careful fishing this and doing it like that. Last thing you want to do is run this in the trolling motor. You'll think it was a freaking monster fish. In reality, it was just a 55-pound thrust. Most time I try to keep my line half taut on the way down on the fall. At least when you go to lift up on it, it may feel real heavy. Just keep reeling. Let your rod load up and everything if it is a fish. The colder the water, the more of a wet t-shirt to a wet towel type of a feeling that the fish will feel like until you feel a head shake. Hey, there's some bigger returns on there. Yeah, some of those are bass. We got 20 feet of water. We got fish from 10 to 20 feet of water. Fishing parallel to the bank. But there's literally probably 2 or 3 break lines between us and the shoreline. As it gets a little bit later, I feel like with it still being fairly warm in the PNW, could have some bigger fish coming up shallow and roaming around here right towards dusk. But with that being said, I think I'll probably be wanting to pick up the Kitech or the Mag Draft 10-inch around that time, or the A-rig. Been dying to catch a fish on that umbrella rig. Not even a sniffer just yet. It's still winter time. These fish are probably been wintering for 2 or 3 weeks by now. I know with it being a little bit warmer than normal, I know it's kind of throwing some of the fish off. It's allowed me to catch a 4-pound, 11-ounce last weekend. It's the biggest December bass I've caught. Absolutely murdered that Kitsap. I have that on a live video, a live stream video on my YouTube channel. You should check it out. Once again, I'm throwing this blade bait on a Bass Pro Shop tourney special. I don't know if you guys can see that, if it's going to focus in. It's a 7-foot medium action, one piece. It's just a 5-to-1 gear ratio, 5-bearing spinning reel. Nothing fancy, but man, it'll catch some fish. I have this little non-slip grip on there, added on. Oh man, that's perfect. 6-pound mono, got my blade bait on. We should take this blade bait off and we should put on a sonar. Still in 19 feet of water. There's a snag down there. Float a boat. We're going to let that thing sink all the way to the bottom. It's going to take too long. Sink all the way to the bottom. Up. Feel like I got grass on it. Yeah. Some grass. Yep. Yeah, that's a good sign though. Hopefully that wasn't in the water column. Hopefully that was on the bottom. I know I made bottom contact at some point. But you get the gist of the blade bait. You can cover a ton of water. It keeps you moving in the colder weather, colder months, so you're not sitting there just freezing. You're actually casting. You have to be fairly aggressive with it as well, but definitely want to play with the cadences and the types of retrieves. And remember what you were doing when you do get bit, so you could do it again. All right, we're going to put this down for a minute. I highly recommend, if you've never fished a blade bait, to go on to YouTube and look at some of the media that's on there about the blade baits. They're straight up fish killers, especially largemouth and smallmouth. I never caught a Never caught a striped bass? Yes, I never caught a striped bass. Striper. Or even, what do you call those? The other bass. Oh, the Florida ones. Gary, what's up, man? Spotted bass is what I was looking for. I've never caught a spotted bass. But the blade baits, they'll tear up smallmouth, especially deep, big smallmouth in the wintertime. There's another big cormorant on that buoy out there. All right, we're gonna pick up the umbrella since it's 48. Got the Christmas carousel right here. Going on a 7'6" medium heavy mock rod. The 7'6" medium heavy. Have 20-pound fluorocarbon. Got Bass Pro Shop Speed Shad on there. Definitely will get murdered if put in front of a bass. I'm gonna throw this up shallow a little bit. Oh fuck, I got that rope. I thought that was a good one there. I was waiting to see the fish. Nope. You and your rope. Oh, I got two of them bitches. Damn. Not one, but two. Oh, that's that. That nylon too. That's what you want to do with your fishing time. Yeah. Stupid shit. Oh yeah, gonna hit that. Okay, got that dumb stuff out of the way. Got some more dumb stuff going on here. When these baits first come out, the umbrella rigs for bass, they've been around for a while. But when they first come out, you used to have specialized gear to be able to throw it. Some of those A-rigs were horrendously heavy. You had to have a specialized rod to be able to throw it effectively. Well, now you come off. I remember I had a really, really good day at Lake X, this rig right here. The only reason I started to fish this rig is because they broke an arm off of the other rig I was killing them with that day as well. Almost caught 2 5s on this. Had a 5 trying to take it out of trying to eat one of these other baits. As I had another 5 underhook. Going around throwing this around docks, you'd be surprised. You fish enough docks and, well, sooner or later there's going to be something that comes out and eats it. Yeah, that was going to be bad anyway. We won't try that shit. One hopper. And one of the baits is messed up. There'd be some kind of rope between that. Yeah, I got a hitchhiker. And one of the blades not spinning. You would think something would be up shallow. 3 feet of water. I see the bottom. There's lots of rock right here on this part of the lake. Got the old flex rig on. Finesse flex rig made by Hog Farmer in a collaboration with Tactical Bassin. The Finesse 3 rig. So as I speed up my handle and my retrieve, it makes the bait like expand and contract like a real deal bait ball would act, especially when it's threatened or nervous. Usually the bait ball will start to act all crazy. Not many umbrella rigs that I found to have this unique action. Especially as I speed that up, it makes them dart in and they'll bounce back out. Really cool. So if there's one following this rig and you speed it up, it look like you're going to try to get away from it, it might just flip that light switch for that fish to eat it. But this is like a finesse rig that you can easily get up shallow and throw around. Chuck and wind this thing. Keep it fairly high in the water column, because you're less prone to snag the shit on it. Bass are opportunity feeders. They see this rig, they will take a shot at it. Most time, if they miss it, one of the 3 hooks will hook that son of a gun normally. Or if you get one that's lightly hooked, one of the other hooks will hook him somewhere on his body to pin him in there. This lake is like a giant toilet bowl, so it doesn't really have much structure. It has deep water, but it doesn't have much bottom contour. Not like some of them big lakes have. This is a toilet bowl with docks. And that thing looks so good in the water. It's going to start to cloud up for tomorrow. Check the chat right quick, see how y'all doing. Thank you for tapping in on this Saturday afternoon. Uh, Loose on the loose. Tell me real slow. That's funny. I remember he was on that live just as well. Got to see that guy. Hey, you should reel that slower. And then bam! I wish that shit happened right now. It's starting to get a little sniffle nose. Loose on the loose. Thank you for tapping in, buddy. Yum yum. All that Christmas candy on that dock. I got one of them stupid blades on there that's not turning 100%. Oh, maybe because there's freaking grass on it. Yeah, even though that water is 43, oh, it's grass. I said, wait a minute. I got a polar. And we're still in, what, 4 feet of water right here. Massive grass patch right here. Hopefully we have some kind of winter where it gets colder. It's going to kill back some of this grass on this lake. The last couple of winters have been mild. The overall winters have been mild compared to our past winters. So a lot of our grass doesn't fully die like it should. So if it just kind of half dies, guess what? It's going to grow back just as like twice as strong the next summer. We had a pretty dry summer as well. Something should be able to smoke my bait here. Tis the season. Happy holidays. Come on, fish. Eat my shit right now. Ho, ho, ho. You waste all your energy on eating a bait, eat this bait right here. There's a cormorant right there. Supposedly in the south, those can eat up like almost like a 2-pound bass. What I've read in Bassmaster magazine. We're talking like a 14-inch fish. Some of those cormorants, they're huge. I totally believe that. Get that grass patch right there with the, yep, there it is. Little mini boat ramp. That boat ramp sucks ass. That thing would be horrendous to launch from. All right, we gotta change something up. This is dumb. Mm-hmm. Gotta get right, reel. All right, we got another little mini main lake point coming up here by the Eagle. See what happens. Bunch of waterfowl over here. Probably no bass are gonna be over here with all these freaking ducks in the water splashing shit. Probably need to skedaddle to another part of the lake. Chat right quick as I'm motoring by this dumb spot. Dude, they have a giant machine at this lake they bring in the summertime that like literally eats all the grass on the lake. I guess all the people that live on this lake throw down and have that machine show up in the summertime, and it chomps up all the bass's habitat, or majority of it. It is ridiculous at times. There's literally areas you can't even go into without your trolling motor looking like Sasquatch clung to it. A weird looking bird right there. Got orange head on it, like a gray body. Caca! Seeing if that eagle will come and land on my shoulder. All right, 6 feet, and look at that freaking screen. That's some tall grass and 6 feet of water. Damn, it's still really grassy over here. One piece of grass and holding on for dear life. Caca! Eagle's not playing today. Come on, I got 2 baits stuck together. All right, where am I gonna go next? Let's go back to that spot that I hooked that trout at. As soon as I realized that I hooked a fish, oh, it pops free. I got some hitchhiker. All right, let's make that move. 351. Whew. Rides are getting a little crisp. All right, let's go with this chartreuse. 6 cents provoke 106. It's in the wasabi color. It's got a bottom of chartreuse and it's got a translucent silvery side with a shad purple top. It's One Eye Willie's brother, twin brother. All right, here we go. Right in the tree. Yep, that's where the bass is gonna be. Well, Arnie's sitting up in that tree right there looking at me, laughing. Frickin' Arnie. Can't see anything on it. I'm sitting in 18 feet of water right here. It's starting to rise up. I'm like half a cast from the bank. You see all these fish that are on this break right here. As it starts to rise up, there's multiple fish. The long, narrower type of feedback marks are going to be your trout. I'm still sitting in 16 feet of water. I guarantee you some of those got to be bass. Some of them probably yellow perch. Some of them are trout. Whoa. Look like some of them are streaking on the screen. And about 15 feet of water right here. When I fished earlier, that trout that I hooked earlier was probably a 2.5 pound trout. Oh, I thought I got something right there. Definitely a trout. I would probably possibly take home. More or less, I just want to fight that son of a bitch. Once again, I appreciate everyone tapping in on a Saturday afternoon. We're just before the technical winter, official start of winter. But here in the PNW, winter has been going on for about a month. Even though the weather's been up and down, we still hadn't had really a kick in the teeth type of a cold front yet. We started to, and then they just went back to 50 degree daytime highs, which is not normal in the month of December. I just saw some giant trout on this. Look at those. Those are giant. That's probably one of those ones that I hooked earlier. There's was right to the closest side of this buoy right here. I bet a DT6 would murder one of those big trout. They're right on the break line of the grass, where the grass stops growing in like 9 feet of water. Those are stupid trout. I don't want to be fishing for trout, but whatever. Whatever bends the rod's gonna do. Even if it's a rock or a stick or a dock, don't give a fuck. Stupid grassy right here. I smell bacon. Five-second pause. Hell yeah. Boat can't be moving for that though. The 3-5-7 rule. Kingfisher, shut up. And big old gob of grass right there, big old patch. I'd definitely get it down there a little bit deeper. Hey, looked like a trout was gonna eat that shit right there. I seen something turn back. A fish turn back. Doubt it was a bass. Who knows? I just seen something real quick. Right when I hit the trolling motor. It's in that grass too. Woo! Ric Flair sneezing. Yeah, that sneeze got me crazy. Got my snot box all rocked up. Got leaking, dripping. Oh, right there. Ah, that was a thumper. I swear to God, I just got jumped right there. That'd be a freaking trout. Just smashed it. Sitting in 7 feet of water and there's grass 2 foot from the surface. Sneeze chum effect. Derek Townley, no. I hooked a trout earlier, but it popped free. I thought there's a seal right there. The killer seal. Kind of looking like Arnie right now. Looking straight up. Alright, if I'm gonna catch a fish, now's gonna be the time for me to get bit. Getting to be the last little bit of daylight here. Crunch time right now. Got the old jerkbait on. 6 cents. 106 per vote. Water temp is 48.08. That was knucking cold. Appreciate everyone tapping in on a Saturday afternoon. Be sure to hit the like button. Like, comment, subscribe. I think it's looking good right there. About 2 foot of water. I think it was hovering right above the Bottom of the lake. Lay down right there. Where you at, stupid? Here we go. This is where I hook a seagull. But the only thing I'm gonna fight. Yeah, that means you too, stupid. That was a shitty cast. Damn, I'm fishing that thing slow. Slow and seductive. Getting no kind of feedback. Even though the jerkbaits gave me the only feedback I've had all day by hooking a trout. That just tells me they probably in a funky ass mood with this high pressure today. Bluebird skies. That dock smells horrible. Somebody needs to come wash that shit. Come back and throw a bunch of Alka-Seltzer everywhere. You get some Alka-Seltzer. You get an Alka-Seltzer. That Oprah with Alka-Seltzer. It had this smell horrible over here. Make it worse. The L-shaped dock public, negative. For JBLM, I think it is. Or maybe not JBLM, it's something. For veterans, service members. Just a little itty bitty park. It's all gated off and shit. No, but they do have an actual fishing dock at the other public park. They have a boat dock just for boats, and then they have one for just fishing. And then they have, that one has a gate on it, and then they have another more of a primitive, well, I wouldn't say primitive, but it doesn't have a gate on it that they lock or close, but that one does. And that one doesn't have a dock. But they close the gate at dark or dusk. So if you want to stay after dark a little bit or a little bit after, not have to worry about being locked in, you go to this one. Like I did. But you gotta worry about tweakers and thieves and all types of good shit here in big city. Well, Dickie always be lurking, man. All right. Mm. Oh yeah, there's a line drive. There we go. That's a better cast. Mm-hmm. I'll make a move right quick. Don't worry about the net. Net floats anyway. Oh shit. Loose on the loose? Negative. All right, since it's getting dark, we're gonna throw Faithful out. Oh, Kitsap Killer! It's been chewed up. Uh-huh. Sitting in 10.3 feet of water right here on the front tip of this dock. That's pretty good depth. A little bit of rip wrap right there. Patch of grass as well. Be sure to hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Not calling it quits just yet. But the sun is setting or been setting. Ping. It's gonna be dark here soon. Perfect time for me to get bit. Uh-huh. Terrible. Here we go. My stomach is growling. I hear some water coming into the lake right there. If there's a fish, I guarantee you to come out and smoke this bait. for 4.4 feet of water. A retaining wall right there. Nice little grass patch right here. Hit that dock up right quick. Man, something smells so good right now. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for the live stream for today. It is what it is. It's winter time. Still beats than sitting on the couch. I appreciate all those that are watching who made it this far. Nick, thank you. To everyone, happy holidays. Until next time, Swimbait 79 out.